All right, and we're live. Yep. So, guys, welcome to my channel. This is the YUFC channel, where it's gonna talk about everything football with a Man United bias, because I'm a Man United fan. And I'm joined today with my great friend, YSK Jackson. YSK Jackson, how you been, man? How you doing?
Yo, bro, we chilling, man. It's a honor to be on the channel. First guest on the first video. Yeah, we're good to go, man. We're good to go.
Absolutely, man. I'm glad you can make it today. So yes, guys, we have quite a few topics to go through. So prior to this video, we're gonna we're gonna talk about Anthony Martial. We're gonna talk about Newcastle United and their signings. We're talking about the Jesse Lingard situation and Donovan de Beek situation, and then we're gonna top it off with the Afcon. But before we even get into that, I just wanted to briefly talk about a situation that happened today, a breaking news today. It looks like Adama Traore is headed to his boyhood club. It looks Barcelona. From many people don't really, I don't think they know this, but he's from La Masia, which is the Barcelona academy. Um, and I kind of quickly like looked it up. I believe that he was actually born in Barcelona, if I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah,
mistaken.
yeah.
So yeah, wow. I mean, I'm not quite surprised with this, right? Are you surprised with this one?
No, I mean, I don't know. He's the type of player that, you could see Xavi really use, and he can be very useful for that team, but it caught me off guard, to be honest. I mean, I didn't expect him to leave Wolves. I mean, you'd expect a player of his quality to,
Hmm.
not stay at, with all due respect, Wolves for too long before
Mm,
somebody does snatch him up. But I mean, it came as a shock because it kind of came out of nowhere. I didn't, there was no news of any negotiations, ongoing negotiations or anything. I only caught wind of this when Fabrizio tweeted
mhm.
about it initially. So it is surprising. Um,
Yeah, because he was strong links to Tottenham,
yeah.
and Antonio Conte, and yeah, it's the interesting thing is like there's transfers. When every time there's transfers, there's rumors. I don't know. I think maybe it was like 2 summers ago. He was rumored to go back to Barcelona, and for whatever reason he didn't move. Um, but yeah, you know, I s- it's just interesting. As Tottenham, looks like this was their target. This was their guy that they were after for like throughout the whole transfer window. And where does Tottenham go from here then?
I mean, with Tottenham, they have to get some kind of reinforcements in, because the squad depth it's just non-existent. And Conte, I mean, he'll get time, obviously, but ideally he'd want to get the absolute best out of this side that he has right now. And bearing in mind, Tottenham, I believe, still has 4 games in hand of the rest of the top four.
Yep.
So in an ideal scenario, and in a, if say they do win all their games, they would go ahead of Chelsea and they would take third. So
Yeah.
so it's because that game against Chelsea wasn't a game in hand. That was just a regular game. So providing they do win those 4 games, I believe they will go ahead of Chelsea. And so I do think they do need reinforcements, especially in that midfield. You'd see with Harry Kane, the problem is the guy is on and off. So
Yep.
you don't know what to expect from him. So maybe they will look for a sort of a backup striker as well. I was just thinking as well with Traore and the Barca move, the dynamics are totally different to when he was there initially. He's like a
Mm.
completely different player now. Like the dude doesn't even look the same. There was like a side by side picture of him at Barca the first
Yep. Yep.
time, and now, and it looked like two different people. So, but yeah, I mean, great business by Xavi. He's already brought in, sorted out a couple of signings now.
Hmm.
So, yeah,
Well,
it's
what
looking
do you
it's looking.
think about the player? Because for me personally, I'm a big fan. I know a lot of people don't are not a big fan of the player. I really like the player. And I think it will be interesting to see how Xavi plays him. I think there was a report before we came on that said that one of the reasons why he was the Tottenham deal didn't quite go through is because Tottenham wanted him to play a right wing back, but Barcelona, I think they talked to him and they said that he might be playing in a right winger, and initially, and I think that's what he always. I think he wants to play as a right winger versus a right wing back. What do you think about him as a player though? Because I'm a big fan. I like Adama Traore.
Traore is, I don't know. It's one of those, it's one of those players where you take him or leave him. Like it really has
Mhm.
to suit the way you want to play. Because this season, if we're being real, he has the end product just has not been there at all this season
Absolutely,
compared to
yeah.
last season. Last season he was not just the trickery, the pace, the power, blah blah blah, whatever. He was effective going forward, as in like he got the job done when it really mattered. So the thing this season is, yeah, he hasn't been as productive, but at the end of the day, he's always a threat. He's always a threat. He'll always manage to get past
Mm.
the other team's fullbacks and their wingers. He'll always manage to find a way. So for Xavi, providing he can sort out that attack, him as an addition, whether he plays fullback or as a winger, it's it's only a positive addition to what he has already.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. Yeah.
and
Absolutely.
they need all the players they can get, to be honest, because I'm not too I don't know about you, but I'm not confident that in that Napoli game. I think Napoli can do some damage to Barca.
No,
So
absolutely. I mean, the way Napoli has been playing this season,
yeah,
and they have that the hot prospect striker, Victor Osimhen,
yeah.
um, and yeah, so I 100% agree with you. No, I just it's gonna be interesting, man. It's gonna be interesting because I'm a big fan of Adama Traore. I do agree with you. He kind of fell off this season, and I feel like that's like it has a lot to do with Wolves kind of stagnating in the
Mm,
last 2 seasons, especially under Nuno, and now going to a completely different direction with this new manager and everything. I think he was one of the main players that he was a main player under Nuno, and he, in my opinion, was really affected by that. And it's just I generally believe it was one of those situations where like his time at he kind of outgrew Wolves, and that's just my
yeah,
general feeling
yeah.
about it. And it's just like it was just time for him to kind of move on. And I'm just glad United doesn't have to play against him bro anymore, man, in the league. I'm happy
Oh,
for
bro,
it.
the
Yeah.
amount of times this guy has terrorized us, home and away, it's it's painful, painful.
No, absolutely, absolutely. Let's since we're on the top of La Liga, let's just go on and talk about this guy, man, Anthony Martial. I mean, a big coup for Sevilla till it's a 6 month loan, all wages paid, all the wages paid. Um, uh, and what I'm hearing is that it might, if the loan deal works out for Sevilla, from what we're hearing, you never know that it might actually be extended in a weird way. This seems like there's different multiple reports coming out saying that this in a weird way feels like the end of the Man United story for Martial, but there's reports also kind of saying that Man United don't really want to completely sell Martial because maybe the new manager might like him, etc. But let's just talk about this signing, man, for Sevilla, man. What do you think?
Um, for Sevilla, I mean, it's it's a I mean, it's a good. I mean, we know what the talent is like. The talent is
Hmm.
obviously there, and he's got to a point in his career now. He's about to hit his prime, and the last thing you need when you're there, and you're especially when you're a goal scorer, you live off of goals. When you're like that, you don't want to sit on the bench. You don't want to not be included in the squad. So this is the perfect move for him. Again, obviously Sevilla was in talks for a minute now. So um, I think, listen, I hope he does well there, because I hope he does well, because at the end of the day, when this guy first came in to United, I wanted him to succeed, and he was on the right tracks. And again, if we're being honest, he some of the reasons why he's not in the squad is due to himself. He's self-caused,
Yeah.
because we've heard from multiple managers. Because it's not hearing from one manager. He's He's not professional. He's like this in training. Blah blah blah. Whatever. When you hear multiple managers say the same thing, it's like, bro, like, you know what I mean? Like you have to kind of look at yourself in the mirror. And Ragnick, personally, I don't think Ragnick would want to keep him because I think he wants people that works hard. I think he wants people that is, again, like he says, proactive.
Hmm.
He wants people to do what he requires of the team, that is best for the team. And I don't think Martial is that guy. And as let's be real, bro, we got too many players up front for him to even if he was at his best form, I don't think he'll still start. I think he'll
Yeah.
still be on the bench. We got too many options up front. We're such an imbalanced team because we got so much attacking power, and the rest of the team is so imbalanced. I don't think Marcel, at minimum, probably makes the bench. At minimum. So this
You,
is the perfect move for him. 6 months. I don't know. I don't know if there's a mandatory clause to buy or anything like that. I'm guessing he returns after the loan. But
yeah.
I guess this is like a good audition period for him to move elsewhere or Sevilla even.
Question for you? Do you think? Because remember, this guy Martial came from Monaco, 19.
Mm.
He was 19 years old. Do you think Man United in a way has mishandled Martial, the talent?
Um, there's I think the fault is on both sides. I don't again. I'm
Yes.
not fully blaming him. Um, I don't think he was utilized properly because there was constant switching of him from striker to right wing to left mid to right mid. So it was it's and that goes for pretty much all of our players since Fergie left. To be honest, because we haven't had a single almost in that whole that attacking sort of side of our team. Everyone has been in constant rotation. No one's had a fixed position where they've thrived in. And if they did, say they picked up some form, which was the case with his case, he'd get an injury, he'd drop out, and then when he comes back in, he's out of position, he can't pick up form. So it's a bunch of things involved, and that contributed to his inconsistent performances throughout the last couple of seasons. Which is a shame because he is a technically gifted footballer. He has technical ability. He's not like a he can do a lot of things that can be very effective for any team in any league. So I do hope this goes well for him. I hope
Mhm.
he can perform. And obviously, for me personally, just because I think Ragnick will not want him, I'd want him to perform for that reason, so that he can get a move away from United. Because bro, he needs to kickstart his career. I can't remember the last time this guy was prominent in the French squad. You know what I mean? So he's not even getting any limelight in the international stage. Because he was supposed to be
Mhm.
the guy when Benzema was done, when Giroud was out the way. He was supposed to be the guy that was leading that front line, along with Mbappe and the other clown Dembele. So so that was supposed to be the thing, but yeah, again, coming into his prime of his career, this is where he has to really most importantly, look himself in the mirror. Because again, as much as United messed up on a lot of things, he
Mhm.
was also to blame. Because you can only blame so much on external things, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like he
Absolutely,
had
absolutely.
not
Yeah.
not that we know of, not that we know of. Obviously, it wasn't reported in the media or anything, but last I checked, he didn't have any major personal issues like family issues, anything like that. I just felt like he got too comfortable with the position that he was in, and and I like the fact that he came out, and called out the fact that he wasn't playing, he wasn't getting enough time, which showed he cared at least a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah,
No,
so
I mean, I don't overtly disagree with you, but then I don't know, man, Rice kid, because you know, there is people say there's always two sides to a story. I just i don't generally feel like he's one of those players along with other players that kind of because Man United as a football club has been unstable. I feel like he was one of the players that got really affected by that because like you're looking at players like Martial and other players, specifically Martial. He's a highly technical player and he has a lot of talent, and you need a coach. You need a coach for more than a man manager, a coach that can actually coach him and get the best out of him. And I feel like you look back on the manager, but the bottom end was Louis van Gaal. Louis van Gaal is a completely different profile, different manager to a Mourinho. Where when Mourinho came in, Mourinho wanted to like boom, 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 boom. I'm a win trophies. I'm a get a winning team. That's it. I don't much care about the development of players, and I feel like that's what I feel like that's especially the Mourinho era is when Martial really got affected. You because you look
Mm.
at when Mourinho came in, right away he said, "Boom, you're not going to be my number nine. There's a lot of times it's going to be my number nine. You're going to play in the wing, and you and Rashford are going to like kind of like uh you know switch up on the left wing." Then and that's in the winter leading up to the winter transfer window, Martial was balling. He had that period where Martial was on fire, and then Mourinho signed Alexis Sanchez.
Mm.
Alexis Sanchez, another player in a weird way just to trying to replace Martial in a weird way because Alexis Sanchez played in the position that Martial was playing. Then you had Lukaku in the summer. I might be mixing up this chronologically, but you had Lukaku in the summer playing as a number nine, and it just seemed like yes, Martial did.
Bro, we even brought Igalo at one point.
Yeah, so you yes, I mean Martial has his faults, but you look at the player he came to you at 19. He he has memorable moments at Man United in terms of his debut. He scored a crucial goal against Everton to lead us to the was it the FA Cup final. Um, he's he has kind of like there's he hasn't showed up in a lot of seasons, but there are he has scored quite a few goals for Man United, and for what I get it, I just feel like this might be one of those things that is best for both parties kind of to part ways. I don't think for Martial, I just feel like Man United was just never the best move for him for him, what is
Mm.
beneficial for him. I don't think Man United was a place that he should have came to. I just don't think Man United was a had the environment or b had the quote unquote football structure for him to grow as a player. Because I mean, to think that he came here when he was 19 and he's now leaving us, um, he's gonna come back, but leaving on alone when he's 26, that's what 7 years, man. 7 years is a long
Yeah,
time,
yeah,
and I just feel like it's one of those players, that I just feel like if we had a better footballing structure, we had, with like our structure was more stable, our coaching was more stable, that he probably could have probably even reached his potential. But I mean, to all the best to Martial. I hope he kills
yeah.
it at Sevilla. That's if he does, that's definitely going to be an amazing end to the season for La Liga. That'll be interesting because Sevilla are actually doing really good this season. They're second in the league, I think, 4 points behind Real Madrid. So yeah, that should be interesting. Do you have anything last things to say about this topic?
Nah, bro, that's I co-sign exactly what you just said.
All right, bro. Let's just move on to so Dusan Vlahovic, heavily linked to Arsenal. It looks like it's pretty much a done deal that he's going to Juve. Um, this guy is an interesting guy. He's been doing very well in Serie A. He's been scoring a lot of goals. He's a young player, up and coming. Uh, he has a lot of hype with him. Um, I'm just surprised. I just it's funny the relationship between Fiorentina and Juve is just an intriguing one to me. It just seems like because every good player they have ends up somehow somebody playing for Juve. I remember there was a time where they were also wanted to sign Juan Cuadrado, but then apparently Fiorentina kind of like put their foot down and kind of they refused. He ended up going to Chelsea, and then he ended up going from Chelsea to Juve, and it was like some ridiculous deal. It was like a loan deal that ended up being like a 5 year loan. Um, I don't know. Juve are very good at doing these loan deals, and etc. and not paying big money for players. But I believe it was like around what 70 towards almost 75 million for this guy. Your thoughts on the player and your thoughts on like the whole transfer saga with him?
See, we're gonna I want to address the whole Arsenal situation after I talk about his move to Juventus, because Arsenal, this is another L, man. This is
Yeah,
another
yeah,
L because those guys talk a lot and they be taking too much L's. But for Juve, let's face it, bro. Morata's not gonna get them anywhere.
yep.
Morata's not gonna get them anywhere. So, and this guy, he's he's had a good time at Fiorentina, but the problem with him is he's got a an arrogance about him, and not the good kind of arrogance.
Okay.
Because I remember in the I believe it was last week. Who was Fiorentina playing? But yeah, Fiorentina was playing Genoa in I think it was the league, or it might be a Coppa Italia. I'm not sure, but one of the games, and he 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 was the guy. Is a star attraction in that Fiorentina team, and the first chance they got handed a penalty, and when it's 0-0, ideally you want to give your team a lead, and you get blessed with a penalty. This guy decided to do a Panenka.
Mm,
Um, there's certain things they ended up winning the game, but there's certain things it's like about his game that he'd have to improve. But he's still young. That's the
absolutely.
thing. He's
Yeah.
still young, so there's a lot of and you can expect that from a young player. So he's still young. There's a lot of maturing to do, and for Juventus, it's a great signing in the sense that there's not just now, because he can be very effective now, a lot more than what they have already anyway. And also it's exciting going ahead into the future, because Juventus right now, let's face it, same with Barca, because I don't know where these two are getting money from, but they're not in the best position financially. So to secure someone like this at this moment in time is I think is a great deal. And for
Mhm.
Juventus in the position that they're in, I think securing top four. I think the league is done. I don't think. I mean, if they win the league now, um, I want investigations, bro. I want investigations happening into that league. I think Moji's doing some backseat business, bro. I don't like that, because if they
Yeah.
come on, yeah, say like they can't win this league, bro. There's no way they can win this league.
But then it's I don't know what it is about Serie A, but it just seems like Juve has a weird like hold over this whole league. It's like even when you look at it, you're like, okay, they're definitely not. You look at it, they're struggling. I don't think they're gonna beat finish top four. Then you're like, all of a sudden you see them, you're like, you know what, they might actually finish top four. And I don't know. I never count out Juve because this is their league. For somehow, some way, they, you know, miraculously, whatever. I don't know, man. It's a lot of suspicious thing going on at Serie A, bro. Especially when it comes down to Juve. I don't know. I mean, I surely not, but at the same time, I don't know, man. It's like
No, yes, yeah, no,
I
they
can see
can't, bro.
dodgy things going on,
Oh my
man.
god,
Like
bro,
dodgy
bro, they
wins.
don't want to get relegated to Division Two again, bro. They don't want to do that.
Yeah,
They don't want to.
we really can't get into that, but I just don't know. Like, I don't. Serie A is so weird, especially when it comes to Juve. It's like, especially with their transfers, like how easily they can poach players without. I remember that Coach Chiesa deal. It was like a loan. It was like a loan deal, and then I believe they finalized the actual deal this summer to actually buy him for like 30 million or something like that, something crazy like that. And it's like everything, like you look at the games, they always get penalties. They always had like crazy added minutes, like 7 or 6 added minute time, and they have crazy you know like refereeing decisions. You just never know. You have, especially now that we still have like a whole half of the season left. So that's why I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna still gonna wait and see, man, because surely not, but at the same time, man, I
I
don't
mean,
know. This is
the
sketchy,
the
bro.
the optics are right. If we're just talking
Yeah.
maths, if you're just talking maths, they are 11 points behind with a game integral game in hand, right? So that they win that game, they'll be 14 points behind with I believe 15 games to go. Now, mathematically, of course, that's possible, but Inter's gonna have to drop a hell of points, hell amount of points. Napoli's gonna have to drop points. Milan has got to drop points. So I think they'll secure top four. There's no way they're not gonna secure top four.
Yeah, yeah,
Because the teams above them, even Napoli, who's in second right now, they're serial ball jobs. They're known for bottling, especially in the league. Um, and Milan, bro, Milan right now, without that kid Rafael
hmm
and occasional glimpses from Zlatan, they you know they're not that good at all, and which we saw that we saw that in the Champions League. And
yeah.
Atalanta is like Atalanta for me is like a glorified Leeds at the moment because they can
Absolutely, yeah.
they can honestly they can blow away teams and then get absolutely slap patted on by anybody in that league. So Juventus will secure top four. The league, bro, uh, bro. If I mean, I'm sorry, but if
It's
they come in,
11 points, man.
bro,
I get what you're saying. Like 14 with if they not play wins it, but 11 points. You divide that by three. You're looking at like what 3 games, three and a half games. I don't know,
bro,
man.
it's like yeah, well, say they go to 14. That's like 5 games.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I don't know, man. Like 3.5 games. You're thinking about 3.5 games, and I still believe that Inter still have what Napoli to play, Atalanta to play, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, it just takes 3 games for them to lose. That's including if they lose a game in hand. So you're talking about 4 games where Atalanta I mean, sorry, Napoli loses. I mean, sorry, Inter loses, and yeah, I mean, if it wasn't Inter, I would probably like Juve still ridiculously have a chance because I don't, Napoli are serious ballers as AC Milan as well. But yeah, Inter, bro. The Inter cannot bottle this. I mean, especially the way they've been playing, and the fact that they are the Serie A holders.
No,
So
they they can't bottle this,
yeah,
and
they can, they
and
can, they
they
can.
can't bottle this because I have a Tim's narrative, and they can't bottle this.
Oh yes, 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 yes. I
They
mean,
can't bottle
not
this.
only a Tim's, Antonio Conte narrative as well.
Oh,
Let's
Conte,
be
yeah, yeah, that's true. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
let's be
yeah.
honest out here. Like, I remember when Antonio Conte left, people were like, "Oh, Antonio Conte, amazing manager. Inter gonna struggle." And Inzaghi's doing his
Yeah,
thing, man.
yeah.
He, I mean, you doing his thing was it Jokic? Was it what's his name? What's their striker's name?
Sorry,
Uh,
Conte at where?
no, there's Inter striker. What's
Oh,
his name?
Jekyll.
Jeko. Jeko. I mean, like they replaced Lukaku with Jeko and they replaced Hakim with Dumfries. And then the team doesn't look like you missed a beat.
Yeah,
So
No Ericsson, no Ericsson behind them.
no, Eric said it is. I mean, they replaced Ericsson with Hanunau. Look, what's
And
his
they're
name?
further in the Champions League as well. Let's not forget
Yeah,
that.
I mean, shout out to Inzaghi, man. That's a
Yeah,
guy that he played managed last year, right? He came from last year.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he's a last year manager last season, and yeah, shout out to him, man. He's doing his thing, and it's they look good, man. They look really, really good. Inter look really good. Yeah, shout out to Inter. But yeah, just finishing up on this guy. I mean, how good of a striker do you think he has potential is in terms of potential? Potentially can be.
See, Vlahovic, there's potential there. I think there's potential there to be a world class striker. Not great.
Hmm
Again, that it depends on how well he matures, because I think there's rashness there about him. I mean, I'm not comparing him to Balotelli, but Balotelli was a similar case. It's like he had all the potential, and now look where he is.
hmm
So I think there's a lot of potential there, and to be honest, Juventus will nurture this guy into like they
Yeah,
will
yeah,
nurture him into, bro. The experience there is ridiculous. I mean, you have the likes of Bonucci, Chiellini, and those guys will just they'll show him the way. Um, and
yeah.
it's such a it's a club with so much heritage and everything. It's like you can't mess around in that club. You know what I mean? You can't do all that crap. So he'll be nurtured.
Absolutely.
Hopefully he'll be, because there's potential there. He'll be nurtured into a quality striker. and I think he has the potential to be world class.
Yeah, and then also like I always say that moving in, like in like if you move from like club to club instead in the same league is better for that player, because it's like you're already comfortable and you're already comfortable in that league. So it's like if we would have went to like Arsenal, going to the Premier League, like playing in a completely different league, and you know, I mean, especially in Juve, he's played with Juve. I guess Juve multiple times, so he's
Mm.
familiar with the players as well in that aspect. And so yeah, it's yeah. I mean, I generally think this is a fantastic move for Juve. I just don't know where they got the money from. Do you
Hey,
wanna
relax, relax, bro.
do
Relax.
you want to finish up on this topic by you talk about Arsenal, man? Man,
Ah, these guys, man. These guys. Wow. Hey, man. Look, bro. You know what, bro? It's the first video. You know what? Let's not do that. Let's not do that.
absolutely, bro, absolutely.
Arsenal. You do your thing, man. You do your thing. You
But,
do
but
your
but
thing.
where do you think Arsenal goes from here though? Do you think they I don't know, I mean like
They're
there's not
strange,
a lot
man.
of strikers out
They're
there.
on and off and on and off. I don't. I mean, see, Arsenal right now. I mean, to be fair, they're in a for what it was at the start of the season. Sixth right now is real pretty because we
Yeah,
some of us generally thought relegation was gonna be a topic
yeah,
of discussion. So for where they are right now, they're in a decent position, and bro, they got a game in hand. They're only I think they are only a point behind us.
yeah,
No, 2 points behind us. Yeah, they're 2 points behind us, 1 point behind West Ham. So they win that, they go fourth. So they're in their usual Arsenal position, and but I do believe they'll need a striker eventually because, like I say, is not doing much. You can't
mhm,
always rely on Smith Rowe. Um, Martinelli is one of those guys. Is like he'll show up for 2 games, go missing for five. So
yeah. But
and
with Martinelli though, it's like I don't. He's talented and everything, but I don't think you cannot rely on him. Like he can't be a number one guy.
yeah,
I think
yeah,
he's Martinelli. I feel like is one of those guys that like plays off of like a Aubameyang or Lacazette if they're like doing well. But I mean like Lacazette and I mean like Arsenal, man. You look at the situation with Aubameyang. Lacazette is about to leave for free in the summer. And they have all they have left is Eddie and Ketia, who's also going to leave in the summer. So they're definitely going to get a striker, but it depends on like the quality of that striker. I'm hearing Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and I'm not a big fan. I'm sorry. I'm not a big fan of Dominic Calvert-Lewin.
right, yeah,
He's a
yeah.
decent striker, but I don't know. I just especially with the money that Everton is gonna ask for, and he's still injured, right? Or has he come back?
No, he's still out. He's still out.
Yeah, so he's been out for a very, very long time with an injury, and for a guy that, in my opinion, that it's I don't think he's that great, to be honest. And I feel like he's gonna cost you a lot of money. I think it's gonna cost you a whole lot of money. Uh, I mean, we're talking about like north of 60 million. I mean, there's Everton here, so they're
Yeah.
gonna charge big money for their striker. And I don't know. Well, other than him, I'm hearing Isak. I don't know if Isak
I mean,
even
they
wants.
need goals. They need goals. Because with Arsenal, if the rest of the top four wasn't basically in calamitous situations, there would not be anywhere near them. Like
Absolutely,
let's face it, because Arsenal are Arsenal are made to look like they're in form because everybody else is trash right now.
absolutely,
So that's just it. But listen, at the end of the day, they're in a much better position than what we initially thought they will be in, and but I still believe they need a goal scorer. They need someone to put the because again, bro, you can't rely on Smith Rowe. And with
hey
Arsenal,
man.
the problem is they're defensively so unreliable. It's
Mm.
almost a case of now we have to outscore the other team to win. Similar
Yeah,
to United, because defensively we're trash, So and the approach that I go in to the games is like, guys, we're gonna have to outscore the teams now. We have to just outscore the teams to win games, because we have no balance against similar. But with Arsenal, the problem is they don't have a spine. There's no spine in that team. It's all over the place, and you can't always rely on the youngsters. You know,
Yeah,
they
I
put
mean, there's
way too much pressure on the youngsters, bro.
it's crazy, man. It is way too much. I agree with you 100%. And you even seeing it now. Like I'm not an Arsenal fan, but you can already see the burnout in some of these young players like Bukayo Saka and Smith Rowe getting injured every other game, and you look at them, you're like, these guys should not be carrying Arsenal Football Club. And yeah, I mean, what I the only advice I'll give to Arsenal Football Club is fix things with Aubameyang. I know been trash. I know he's been terrible, but I mean, you guys are paying him crazy money anyway, so you might as well try to fix whatever is there, um, at least till the end of the season.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. All right, bro. Let's move on. All right, so I just wanted to quickly touch on Newcastle United, man. Newcastle United splashing that cash this winter. Like they're going crazy, man. Like so they already signed Kieran Trippier and Chris Wood. Looks like they're gonna sign this Leon. I believe he's like a center midfielder slash CDM. Bruno Gamares. I don't know how to quite say his last name, but I'm just gonna call him Bruno G. Um, yeah, man, like Newcastle United, bro. They're doing their thing, and so my question to you is like, so would this save Newcastle United this season and help them not get relegated? And how long do you think Newcastle United is gonna take for them to start competing, not for the title, but at least for the European places?
Um, I mean, these signings, they are. I mean, they're not bold, massive signings, but they are in the sense of the position that Newcastle have been in. So I'm not, again, Trippier is, he's he's towards the end of his prime now,
But
and
he's a good right back though.
no, no,
He's a good right back.
of course,
Yeah,
bro, bro. We support Man United. He's a good.
absolutely.
He's a great right back. He's a great right back. Um, but and Bruno as well. So, but here's the thing though. It's a process. I don't think they'll be what we're saying, like the top half of the table from like seventh, those Europa League spots. I think it'll be at least 5 years before everything just gels together. Because I mean, we saw what happened with the Galacticos.
Mhm,
You brought everybody in. You assembled this crazy team. Not a single Champions League title. You know,
mhm,
it was a failure. The Galacticos point two, that wasn't necessarily them. Buying everybody on the market. That was a team. They brought players, and eventually it just clicked, and then they start doing that thing. But obviously that's two way too different comparisons and levels. But with Newcastle, just to challenge into that top half of the table, I reckon it will take a good 3 to 5 years, maybe even longer, depending on how the management goes. You have to you have to also think about the internal structure of the team, behind just the players. It has to go in an according way. I believe their budget cap is like 200 million
mm.
for January. I think it's 200 million. I'm not sure. It might be more or less, but I think it's 200 million pounds. Um, so
Yeah, yeah.
these signings are gonna keep on going. So yeah, I just think relegation. I don't- um I don't know. I think they can make out relegation. I think they're just a point off of Norwich right now with a game in hand, and with the games that are left this season, providing that they can string a few victories together, I think they'll be fine. Um, I think Everton's in a really bad position. They can't seem to get any form going. Norwich is Norwich. And I don't think Burnley and Watford are gonna do any damage too much either. So I think it's gonna be a battle. I don't think it's gonna be easy, but obviously these additions are gonna help them so much more because the other teams below them and the three teams if you include Leeds as well ahead of them, they can't do this. they
Yeah,
can't
yeah,
they can't they can't go out and do this. So as many reinforcements they get, and more than just a team effort, I think the individualistically will drag them out of relegation, and it also depends on their current players as well. Saint Maximum is crucial. He's vital for them getting out of the relegation zone. Same with Jolinton and Almiron. All those guys, they're crucial for this team getting out of relegation. So it's going to be a collective effort, but I think the individualistic moments throughout the rest of the season will will I think likely get them out of relegation.
yeah. I mean, 100%. I echo everything you said. Newcastle United will be. I feel like for a lot of um, for me personally, I think it's like an experiment to see, because a lot of, you look at Man United fans, we complain about how our structure is and our football club is run, Arsenal fans, Spurs fans, etc. I think this is going to be an interesting experiment to see uh, how Newcastle progress, and just because the thing is like, if Newcastle, I think everything is all about targets. This target of this season is to get to survive, survival at all costs. Then next year target could be, hey, let's finish in the top half of the table. Finish anywhere between 9 and 10, around that area. Then go into like the second the next season. You say, okay, let's push it up. Let's get comfortably in the top half and et cetera. And if they go into like if they start to move into like a positive trajectory, and then the next 4 or 5 season, you see them
Mm.
actually being a force because they have the money and they have the force. And if they have the footballing structure, the next 4 or 5 season, and we start knocking on that the Europa League slash top four. Uh, Top four might be a big stretch, but if they start knocking on that door, a lot of clubs, man, a lot of clubs are gonna be terrified. A lot of clubs are gonna be terrified and should be worried, man. Um, because Newcastle United are the richest club in our league right now. So
In the world, they
eh,
can
eh,
literally buy and sell the Premier League multiple times.
so yeah, it's with that, I mean, money talks, man. You we shouldn't. I feel like people have like short-term memory. Like not too long ago, I mean, Man City was, in a similar situation, not, up and down, getting relegated, mid-table, etc. uh and now they are the best team in the league. So
When were they purchased? Like 20, I think, what was it? 09, 10, 09 ish.
yeah, yeah, it's, I think, I think it was the '08 or 09 or something like that,
Yeah,
around that time. Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, you talk about, well, and then they won their first league title in, what is it, 2020, was it
11.
2011? Yeah.
Yeah.
So you talk about, in
I mean, to
wow.
be fair, City already had. I mean, they had better players than what Newcastle have right now.
I mean,
Uh,
yeah, I mean, look, Newcastle has who do they have right now? Not a lot, but I mean, they still have like Saint Maxima, and you know, I guess, yeah, you're right. It's gonna take a lot of time to build, but if they build it right, if they start hitting, start really getting the right pieces around, and actually started, and their investment is like, their signing kind of are big signings, not big signings in terms of like a galactical sign, but big signings for the club, where like they have like a big impact in the team and how the team plays. Yeah, I just say 4 or 5 seasons, 4 or 5 years from now is literally like should be like a 5 year plan where then you look back and see how Newcastle are doing. And I mean, you look at the top six clubs right now. You look at the top six, and if they break into the top six, man, I mean, it's gonna be scary times for clubs that are
Yeah.
not run well. So yeah. All right, man. So the last thing we're gonna talk about, before we get to the AFCON is just briefly talking about their Lingard and Donny van de Beek situations at Man United. Looks like Donny van de Beek is in talks with Crystal Palace. Uh, there's some positivity there that he might actually go to Crystal Palace, but well, for whatever reason, Rough Ragnick is very adamant of keeping him, um, which doesn't make any sense. Apparently, he's saying that he just needs more players in midfield, but Donny never plays, so why does that even matter? And Jesse Lingard, man, reports coming out that he was potentially supposed to go to the club we just talked about, Newcastle, but Man United has valued him at around 50 million, and they want like a 12 million loan fee, and they also want Newcastle to pay his full wages, and Newcastle United are really looking at Man United crazy and thinking you guys are out of your mind. So, um, so yeah, let's actually start with the Lingard first and leave Donny, a little bit
Yeah,
afterwards,
yeah.
um, because that I just don't think there's much to talk about in terms of Donny. But let's start with Lingard. Um, just thoughts on his time at Man United and um, what should Man United do with him? And do you think Man United are do you think it's best interest for Man United to let him go for any loan fee?
See, man, I love Jesse, man. Just like I don't know the vibe that he brings to the dressing room, the way he plays, just so almost just just a free way of he plays football. I think, and you saw that with his time at West Ham. Um, he's a quality footballer. I'm not putting him in the world class bracket or anything. He's just a quality footballer who will get a job done in the team
Mhm.
when given the opportunity. Obviously, he hasn't had the game time now. Whether Ragnick doesn't believe he fits in the system, or it's just I don't know. Again, it's similar with Van der Beek as well. But we will discuss Van der Beek. But I think for Jesse as well, similar to Martial, he's in his prime now. I think we have this sort of misconception of Jesse in our heads. It's like um that he's this up and coming youngster still. Like it's just the way he is. Like
Absolutely.
we have
Potential,
this weird
man.
misconception. Yeah, he's got potential. Like we have this weird, but the dude's in his prime. Like he's in his
Mhm.
prime now. So he has to play. Again, unless it comes down to a similar situation with Pogba as well. What if he's comfortable at United with what he's having? Um, but I don't think that is the case because he has voiced his frustration of not playing. I
Mhm.
think he wants to play. I believe he actually wanted to go to West Ham again, but it was blocked by Ollie because he wanted him involved. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I think I
Just to
think for
jump
him,
in there, because I think what happened, I feel like in the summer, what happened was, and this is my general feeling, and from everything I read, everything I watched, what I generally feel like happened in the summer is, I believe Jesse Lingard wanted to stay. I feel like, especially the fact that like when with the whole fanfare that happened with the Ronaldo signing and the rumors with Ronaldo, Jesse Lingard being because we gotta people forget Jesse Lingard is a youth product. He came from academy, so you were thinking about he was probably watch he used to watch Ronaldo, looked up to Ronaldo, and it was like in a way, Jesse Lingard has a strong connection with the club. And this is like his boyhood club. He grew up in the Man United academy, and then with Ronaldo coming in, I believe Jesse Lingard felt like, hey, let me just stay put, see how things go, and I'll get a chance to play with Cristiano Ronaldo, and I'll just enjoy my time because I believe there's also like he posted a picture of like was it there's a picture of him as a young player like posted with Ronaldo, something like that, or some picture with him and Ronaldo, um, or something that had to do with the Ronaldo, and I think that's like I think that's like one of the main reasons why he stayed. And I feel like with Lingard, I think he knew that there wasn't that much of a big chance of stay. I think he just stayed for like, for that, the sentimental aspect of it.
Yeah, I think with the for me personally, the best thing for Jesse is right now to just move, whether it's loan or for a permanent transfer. Just bro, just because I think the guy just needs the space to express himself, and I don't think he
Absolutely.
with Bruno at the club, bro. There's no way he's starting. There is zero chance of him starting ahead of Bruno in this team because that's his position. He's not a winger. He's not a mid. He's not a wide midfielder. He plays down the middle. That's when he plays his best football because he's got the full 180 visual of everything that's going on in front of him and the 180 of him of what's going on behind him. So that's when he plays his best football. Um, I think Newcastle will be a very good move. Because that position there, they're in and out of that position. Because Almiron's place right now is not secured in the team. And I personally believe that his move to again any of the teams, you could have Newcastle, maybe even return to West Ham. Um, it could all go in his favor. And again
Yeah.
with Jesse as well. You know what with Jesse, he is crucial. Jesse Lingard is a player that England can use so much in the World Cup
Yeah,
because
100%.
Lingard, bro, let's be real, bro. Lingard plays when he was given the chance for England last season. He turned up. Jesse turned up when he was given the chance for England. Now I don't know about. I mean, what did let's talk. Let's talk. What did Foden do? What did Phil Foden do for England?
Nothing.
What did
Absolutely
he
nothing.
do? What did Jack Grealish do, bro? What did those do clowns do? Nothing. Like just Jesse when he got given the opportunities, he turned up. So, but again, it's like that's what I mean. Like if you don't, again, it's like it's not, if it was a meritocracy, then obviously he will get an opportunity. But because he doesn't start, you can't even look at his performances. Because at the end of the day, when you're a manager, you cannot take a potentially unfit player and a player who's not match fit to just an international tournament like the World Cup. You can't do that. So,
Absolutely. I mean,
so
like you're right. Like they missed a Jesse Lingard player. I
yeah,
mean, they really did. They needed a player that can run from midfield, driver that defends, and actually be a threat. They just didn't have it. They really didn't.
exactly, exactly.
All right, man. So just moving on from because I agree. Jesse Lingard, I mean, I've said this multiple times. He should have left in the summer. And Jesse Lingard, a lot of good memories with Man United, scoring that amazing FA Cup final goal. Man, what a goal that was! I also believed scored in the Carabao Cup final as well, if I'm not mistaken. I think he did. I guess Southampton. I might be remembering things wrong. He had his moments at Man United, um, but yeah, I just feel like I just don't see what was the point of him staying this summer at all. Should have left to West Ham United and probably, I mean, it would have strengthened West Ham United, but at the same time, he would have thrived, and I believe he would have had a phenomenal season this season. I think he would have been one of the best players in the season of the league this season if he would have stayed at West Ham United. But for whatever reason, I believe, was sentimental, and he has a attachment to Man United. He decided to stay, but I agree with you, man. I want nothing but wish nothing but the best, and he think it's time for him to move on for his own career.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, absolutely. Let's just move on to Donovan and Beak. So yeah, like I said, Crystal Palace. it looks like they're interested in him, and Man United is adamant to release to the to the journalists that he is not for sale still, that is only going to be out for a loan. For whatever reason, Ralph Rednick is adamant that he doesn't want him to leave. I just don't understand that. It makes no logical sense to me for a player that you never play at all. And if he plays, he's like, what last time he even stepped foot in the league was, I think it was like when we are losing 1-0 to Wolves, and he brought him on like the last 5 minutes of the game. And so it just doesn't look like a player that Ralph Ragnick is ever interested in playing. But and we're hearing that he wants to keep him adamantly. Um, your thoughts on Dan Van Beek's situation um, and all that?
Yeah, yeah, I think, I mean, maximum he stays to the end of the season. I
Mhm.
think after that, this whole thing is finished because he literally wants to play.
Yeah,
We know he literally he just wants to play. Even in the Rio, the interview he did with Rio, he was like, dude, I'll even play DM if I have to. Let's
yeah,
just play me anyway. Just play me. So I think for him, his best position is where Bruno plays. Again, same situation with Lingard. I believe
absolutely,
his
yeah,
best position is where Bruno plays right now. And when Bruno plays, he won't get a sniff. It is what it is. It's it just and it's in a way justified because bro, at the end of the day, now I'm gonna trigger some London Blues fans here. Bruno's first season, Bruno managed to completely wash Lampard's best season at London Blues.
yeah.
And you call him Penandes with less penalties as well, by the way. Just
Mhm.
adding that in there. So with that in mind, Bruno will always have his place in that team, in that position. But Donny, the thing with Donny is Donny.
Can I push back on that? Because I remember when Bruno picked up a yellow card and he was suspended, and there was a chance for Donovan Beek to play, and he didn't. I think that's when he played a 4-2-2-2, and then he played was it Matic and McTominay in the two? Then he also played, was it Greenwood and Rashford on the wing on the. So like I agree,
Oh
like
yeah, yeah, yeah. When he
I
was, yeah,
agree.
he
Like
was.
Bruno was suspended, and even when you look at like Bruno, when Pogba has been injured for so long, Bruno has been suspended. There's been times where Bruno hasn't had a great game, and you can take out Bruno, and Donovan Big doesn't even come off the bench. So I just I don't understand why we even bought him in the first place. In the second place, I just don't understand why the club is so reluctant to let him leave.
I mean, I think with that was I think when that was we were still playing the 4-2-2
Yeah,
formation. So Bruno was playing out wide,
yeah, yeah.
which is terrible because he shouldn't be playing wide in any team in any formation. And I don't think Van der Beek would have fit anywhere. But bro, the point is, right now we just what Van der Beek offers that Bruno doesn't is there's a certain level of composure to him. Bruno is very reactive. Like Bruno just sees something and he doesn't think twice. He just plays the ball. He doesn't. There's no almost self awareness of what he's doing. Sometimes he just does it. Which is why as as he as he was at one point the most creative player in Europe this season. There's almost the unforced error in him all the time where he just gives the ball away blatantly, which that composure that Van der Beek has is can be useful considering the strikers that we have, the forwards that we have, who knows how to make runs in behind, who knows the amount of times I've seen Cristiano try and get in behind this season, and nobody has even looked to play a pass to him,
Mhm.
apart from the odd occasion where Bruno's played it. We're just wasting opportunities like that. But thing is, if we can get this guy to play in the role that Matic or McTominay or Fred plays, you know, he can do a job there. I can't remember which game it was. I think it might have been. I think it was the Atalanta game. He came on and in midfield, and he changed the game straight away. Now, I'm not like one of these United fans just, going crazy over Van der Beek saying he's the Lord and Savior, because I ideally I want someone more stable in that position, that that sort of double pivot
Mhm.
position. But he can do a job there. He'll most certainly do a better job than Matic. I don't know why Matic is still playing football in 2022.
Mhm.
Um, McTominay, dude, McTominay just he finds an excuse to just to stay in the team somehow, whether it's a goal, or assist, or whatever. Like, I mean,
Do
he
you
again,
do
but
you, do you think there's an aspect of Don van de Beek that people say he's not physically capable of playing this league, and I don't know, it's just like that notion like, oh, this is a physical league, it's a tough league, especially when you're playing in midfield, you had to be tough, strong, fast, aggressive, etc., etc. And then I feel like that is literally the main reason why people didn't believe that Pep Guardiola couldn't do what he did in other leagues in the Premier League. Because they're like, oh, the football he plays, it will not work in the league. And you look at Man City, the players they sign, I don't see them being considered physical specimens like McTominay. You look at Ilkay Gundogan, you look at Bernardo Silva, you look at Raheem Sterling, that like you literally you sneeze next to them, they fall apart. Riyad Mahrez, etc. And you look at them and you're like, these guys are capable of playing in a quote unquote one of the physical most physical league in the world. And I just something that Pep Guardiola understood was you don't necessarily have to have the most physical specimens to play in this league. That you just, as long as you have technical ability, and we have a system that prevents other teams from actually like getting anywhere near these players,
mm,
where they're just technically gifted, but you try to tackle with them, you can't even reach them. By the time you get to them, the ball is gone. And I just feel like with Donovan the Big, it's like Anthony Martial, and yet another player that comes from Man United, and it just will never work because they're players that need coaching, need a system, need to
yeah,
understand what they're doing, and that's when they will thrive. And I just feel like with Man United, I feel like a lot people might not like this, but we tend to Man United, for whatever reason, tend to like play a lot of defensive counter-attack in football, and for that you need aggressive players that can be defensive, that can that can like break a play, and are aggressive in the counter-attack. Versus a Man City, they
but
love to have the ball.
you see with the whole, you hear Ragnick talk all the time about being aggressive, right? Being the
Yeah,
first to the ball, and then the first to set the standard. See, the aggression that he talks about is not the same aggression that Bruno has. Bruno's
yes,
aggression is reckless. He's got reckless aggression. What I think we need, especially in that midfield, is composed aggression, like
exactly. Yeah,
where your head is straight, and you just take time to just think before you play a ball. The amount of chances that we've lost this season just because, and it's not just Bruno. I've seen Greenwood play straight passes. I've seen Rashford play straight passes. I've seen Cristiano play even simple 1-2s. He's messed up. Everybody, this is just lack of composure in the final
yeah,
third. Don't even get me started on the defense. I mean, that's a whole different
yeah.
problem. But there's just lack of composure in this team, and Van der Beek is one of those players in this team that I believe can offer that. However,
Absolutely.
I just don't think Ralph's interested. I think I think he's got his own vision of what he needs in a team, and and maybe he's already made up in his head that these Lingard, Martial, Van der Beek, these guys are just not it.
Yeah,
Because I can't think of. I mean, to be fair to Fred, Fred has played really well since he's come in. Ralph's come in. He's done a job. He's done a job there,
yeah.
which is a lot more than what he did before.
Well,
McTominay,
he has 3 assists in 3 games now, which
bro,
is crazy.
bro, this is what yeah. See, you know how crazy this is, bro. Do you know that McTominay used to play as a striker?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
McTominay played used to play as a striker. He plays centre back for Scotland. He's our CDM. Fred is a cam for Brazil. He plays cam for Brazil and he plays CDM for us. So
Yeah,
we haven't got the players suitable to play in that position in this team. The one midfielder I can confidently say that can do that role is Matic, just based on the fact that that's his position.
absolutely.
That's his position. But he shouldn't be playing football in 2022.
We went from because you can also tie this into the whole Pogba thing. You look at Paul Pogba. Paul Pogba, the position that Man United played him in and are playing him in, it makes no sense to the Paul Pogba that was so good in Juve. Paul Pogba is a player that doesn't need. If you restrict Paul Pogba's ability to on the ball and to go forward by making him play as a in a double pivot as a and part of the double pivot,
Yeah.
you just kind of like you change the player, in a way. When you make a play, and then people, like with Paul Pogba, like I don't know where this whole notion of him being a defensive midfielder even come from. Like you have to play him next to like yeah, like where we always try to play him in a two, always got to play him so deep. Pop was picking up the ball from from the defenders, and it just you it just seems like we just are the midfielders that we have. We just don't understand how good, like in terms of like what kind of midfielders we have. Like you just explained, McTominay came from the youth academy as a striker. Bruno in Brazil, they understood that Fred is better off farther up the pitch than he is in the middle of the pitch or towards their own goal. Yet Man United, we play Pogba. We try to play Pogba in a double pivot. We're playing with a double pivot of McFred, which is McTominay and Fred, and then you
Percy,
hundred
what
percent, man.
see, I've been talking to a couple of people about this because it's like my thing is the Atleti game, bro. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. I because and if I had to if a gun was pointed to my head right now, I'd say Atleti wins that game.
100%.
I say Atleti wins that game. But my thing is, bro, we need Pogba back for that game.
100%.
We need Pogba back for that game because he's the only guy that can break a midfield down.
Absolutely.
He's
I
the only guy that can do that. And here's the thing, I was thinking because it's like, what does McTominay and Fred do? You know what? Let's leave Fred aside because Fred has a role in this. What does McTominay do in that position that Pogba could or couldn't do when he was under Mourinho? Pogba scored goals in that position. Pogba scored got assists in that position. And the negatives, Pogba lost the ball in that position. Pogba didn't run back in that position. I can't think of anything that those two can or can't do. That's me me personally, bro. Just play Pogba there if you have to. Ideally, you'd want him if you're playing the 4-2-2. Ideally, you want him on that left hand side of that midfield. The two
Mhm.
midfielders in behind, slash wingers or whatever. Ideally, you want him on that left, but bro, we need that guy in this team because if Van der because our our players are just they're okay. I don't want to use stat padders, but they're not. They haven't got the ability. Even the attackers, there's no ability to break a team down. And when the midfield can't do it, and the attackers get no service, bro, Atleti will have no problem in shutting us down, especially at the
Absolutely.
Wanda. If they take a lead, forget away goals because you don't even have away goals anymore because they don't
No,
even have to worry about that. So they take a lead in the Wanda, and they come over to Old Trafford. They score a goal, and they're 2-1 up. They will hold the fort down until the end, no problem, because we don't have any people to break them down. So
I just, I
Pogba,
just, I just don't. The only problem I have, I 110% agree with you. But the only problem I have, and I mean, this is something I don't like the whole FC, like Martial FC, Pogba FC is. You look at Paul Pogba, and the one thing he's good at is that if you want to
yeah,
break down a low block or trying to break down a team, Paul Pogba is absolutely phenomenal at that. Driving with the ball, controlling the ball,
yeah,
controlling the
yeah,
tempo of the game. But the thing that I'm skeptical about is like, okay, you play because they'll you if you play Pogba and Bruno is undroppable, who is we need a player, a younger version of Matic, but someone like Matic that can literally, at times when Pogba loses the ball, or when times when in transition where Pogba can't come back, someone that's there that can literally stop him from counterattacking us, or that can literally can hold the fort down. But we don't have that player. So if you play, Bruno is definitely gonna play, and you're gonna play Pogba. That's why Ole Gunnar Solskjaer played Pogba on the wing, because you play Pogba on the left and he can float into the middle, but then you still have players in the midfield that you have a lot of numbers in the midfield. Because the last time Matic and Pogba played in a pivot, we got absolutely destroyed by Leicester because they
Yeah,
all they did was just ran
but
past our midfield.
the thing with our midfield is okay. So the risk in playing, I see. This is what Ragnick wants when he plays a 4-2-2. When we're defending, he in a way he reverts to a 4-4-2, a traditional 4-4-2, where the wide
Hmm.
players drop back and helps midfield out. We don't have players that track back.
Yeah,
So
we don't.
when we play a 4-2-2 and we get countered, it's literally their midfield, whether it's 3 or 4 man midfield against our two, and our two
Yes.
just happens to be McFred. McFred ain't doing shit, bro. This is not Kante and Makaleli
Yeah.
in that. So they don't do anything. So, and the reason why I say we need Pogba as well, in that even if we play him in that DM role, he drives forward with the ball.
We do.
See,
We do.
McTominay won't drive. If you ever see McTominay drive forward with a football, that's that's something special. You should record that and write in the diary or something. You because when he scored that goal, sorry, when he got the assist, just the other game, and when he was like going through the midfield, I thought I was seeing shit. Like
Yeah, bro, it was
I
nice.
didn't
I'm
know
not
I didn't
gonna
know
lie
what
to
was
you.
going
I
on.
was like, I tweeted that out. I was
I was
like,
like, who's this?
is
Who's
that
this?
Cody? He was like, Cody? Really?
I was like, what's
Oh,
going on?
he was in his bag. I'm not gonna lie to you. That he was in his bag, bro.
um, but yeah, so like that happens every blue moon.
Mm.
Pogba will do that, but again, there's
Yep.
defensive you can't rely on him defensively.
Yeah.
Which is why
Yeah.
he thrived in the France system, because whether it's in the 16 World Cup where he had Matuidi and Kante, or in the Euro uh in this season, sorry, the Nations League, and even the earlier stages of the Euros, he's got protection there, bro. Just having Kante is enough. It's
Absolutely.
enough. So, and we don't have that protection just to give him that free role that France give him. So yeah, bro. I mean, listen, man. February is gonna be an interesting month for United, bro. I'm dreading it. I don't know about you, but I'm shitting bricks right now, because
You
it's
know,
like,
YSK, I used to be just like you, man, just in the same exact situation. But I'm actually looking forward to it because I just wanted to get it over with, man. I don't like the suspense, bro. I just don't. I just want to whatever. I'm in the mindset of whatever happens happens. Whatever it is, it is. Because I've been so disappointed with Man United in the last what 9 plus years, 9 years or whatever. For however long Cyrus Ferguson has left the United, bro. I've been through so much disappointment, and people be like, oh, like, how much more disappointment can you handle? I feel like I've handled enough where nothing ever, I don't think Man United can disappoint me any more than they already have. And I might just jinx them to actually disappoint me even further. But um, I just, what I mean? We've been through everything, man.
bro. You know
We
what's crazy? You know what's crazy? Yes, you know what's crazy? Like,
mhm.
by the time, not this season, the next season finish, it'll be a decade
Yeah,
without a
yeah, yeah.
league or a
Yeah,
Champions
yeah, yeah.
League. It'll be a decade. Bro,
Absolutely.
oh my god. Bro, if you had told me that when I was a United fan in like 2012, 2013, I would have said you're crazy, because bro, a decade without trophies at that point was unthinkable.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, I was
Trophies as in
just
like the league and the Champions League.
I was telling someone that I think, I always like sometimes I just look back and think about things. I think the hire of David Moyes, I mean, shout out to David Moyes, what he's doing at West Ham United. I'm glad that he actually picked up the pieces that of his manager career that was completely shattered at his time at Man United. Um, I'm so happy he's doing a lot better and he's actually doing a wonderful job at West Ham United. But that being said, I just feel like hiring David Moyes right after Sir Alex Ferguson, I think that like shattered. We used to have, in my opinion, and at a time, Man United had a vial of like invincibility, where we just felt like we were just, especially in the league, we just felt like we were the guys. And once you hire David Moyes and Man United fall to seventh, bro, we finished seventh after winning the league the previous season. How do you go from winning the league to finishing seventh? I felt once that happened, we have not recovered from it, bro. We just it just destroyed like the whole vial of invisibility, that image, like because a lot
That
of I
that see that team that Fergie left behind. I think obviously it was a sentimental decision to bring in Moyes. You know,
yeah,
um, listen. He was doing his thing with Everton. Everton's not Man United, bro.
no,
Everton doesn't sniff United. So that's not the same thing. And look what he's doing with West Ham, bro. That's his level. That's his level.
that is his level, yeah.
He can do that. He can do that. United is not the same thing. And I think I still believe what we missed out on was Mourinho.
Yes,
Mourinho should have
yes,
came in the moment Fergie left, and that team would have died for Mourinho on the pitch.
yes.
That team, because we still had
You-
Vidic, still had Ferdinand, still had Evra, still had all of those guys in that team, and
no,
it would have just
absolutely,
worked.
man. Absolutely. You just and then I think that that decision alone set us back 10 years we've seen from that is just a culmination of that decision. And people, I've always, like, something I learned throughout life is like people don't understand, like, certain decisions you make can really set you back. It really can have uh, like a seismic effect on your future, to be honest. And that was one of the things that United did, especially. I mean, how do you go from Sir Alex Ferguson to David Moyes, man? I mean, no logical, no big club will ever. I don't think there's a club out there that will go from such a big manager, Sir Alex Ferguson, to David Moyes. I know, Arsenal went from Arsene Wenger to Unai Emery, but Unai Emery still had clout. I mean, he was a
Bro,
manager at
Emery
PSG,
was
and
Mr. Europa League.
yeah, he had clout. I mean, you won't. I mean, I know David Moyes did his thing at Everton. I'm not gonna take that away from him ever. And from what he's doing for West Ham United, I wish nothing but the best for David Moyes. I'm glad he's actually got his career back on track as a manager. But it just I just feel like that was, you just don't bring in a David Moyes figure into the Man United dressing room. You just don't.
But
Um,
you know the thing is, like, you can like you can only put the blame on the manager for so long, bro. Like, because Ralph coming in now, it was it was sad to see Oli go because I wanted that guy to succeed more than anybody that came in. But
yeah,
it got to a point where I was thinking, okay, so now if Oli gets sacked, I'm sorry, but we can only do this whole like sack and rehire. We can only do that thing for so long before it's like, okay, the player's now gonna bro. These guys shows almost zero effort sometimes when I'm watching United. I can
yeah.
there's no desire sometimes, bro. Like, and
Wesley, you
when
know
our
what it is
captain,
though. You know what it is. I generally believe there's, in a weird way, there's a sense of arrogance. In a sense of in these a lot of these players. This one thing I always used to be irritated about. I remember last season when we finished second, there were games where we just approached them arrogantly, like the Sheffield United. We lost to Sheffield United. I don't think there's a team in the top six or top four or whatever that lost to Sheffield United. We lost to Sheffield United. I think it was Sheffield United away, if I'm not mistaken. We lost to Sheffield United away.
Yeah,
One of the worst teams I like, especially last season, I've seen in a long time. They were terrible. We lost to them.
bro. You know,
We
this whole decade it's just been, oh, the first time in a billion years United have lost to this guy, this team. The first time
yeah.
in this mate, bro. Oh my
This is
goodness me, bro.
I believe
It's
it's an
stats like that,
arrogance
bro, that comes
problem.
out of nowhere, man. Jesus.
Why is it? I really believe it's not I think it's arrogance where certain we may I feel like times Man United players believe the hype. They believe they're better than what they are, and at times they approach games, especially in games like, for example, West Brom United last season, we drew 1-1. We drew 0-0 with Crystal Palace in midweek. Then we ended up beating Man City. Go figure. How does that even work? Um, but we approach these teams, these quote unquote lesser teams, in a very arrogant mentality where we go there and we expect, oh, just gonna beat them and we're just gonna go home, and just that does not it doesn't work like that. Where like even like people, I feel like these players generally do not understand that. Okay, I don't care how good you think you are, but you do understand that when Man United turns up away to any ground in the Premier League, is their cup final. It's a big deal to beat Man United, and everyone is always trying to beat you. So you're not going to get the regular version of any team. You're going to get the best version of them because they're always trying to beat you. The Man United is always going to be at their cup final. They're always trying to, oh, they want to be, oh, Norwich hasn't beat Man United for X amount of years, and they always want to beat you. So they always going to turn up. And I feel like our players get shocked by that, and I'm like, how can you be shocked by that? And you've been playing for Man United for like 5, 6, 7 years. It doesn't make any sense. But yeah.
Yeah.
Let's move on to our last topic. Quickly. Afcon, man. Just take a break from Man United, man. Because talk about Man United, man. It's just a headache. Afcon. So let me quickly just pull up the AFCON, what's going on in AFCON right now. It looks like your thoughts about the tournament so far, and any thoughts you want to share about the AFCON?
Um, bro, it's been an eventful tournament. Like, I mean, the AFCON is just full of just full of the most random things just coming together, and it's what makes the AFCON beautiful. Like it's just this it's just this complete chaos sometimes, and then there you have glimpses of brilliance. Hakimi, for example, you just have glimpses of brilliance and just moments of just pure excitement, as you saw in the Egypt and Ivory Coast game.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, listen, man, Algeria was a big surprise, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't expect that, but here we are. Um, I think, bro, to be honest, now looking at this whole thing, the way the tournament is forming out, I say, I mean, okay, Egypt are always going to be in the conversation purely because of Salah, but there's only so much Salah can do. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and if it wasn't for our boy Eric Bailly and his no look penalty, um, they might not even be in this conversation right now. But
I love
um,
everybody,
and
man.
then no look,
I
that guy's a
mean, he
bastard,
had
man.
an amazing performance though. Like, don't I know that a penalty is gonna take away from his. I hope he doesn't, but he had a fantastic performance against Egypt. He was absolutely phenomenal.
See, yeah, and bro, bro. If Nigeria win, bro, if Nigeria win this whole damn thing, um, that
Nigeria.
Nigeria, yeah. If they win this whole AFCON, bro, it's gonna be peak times for you and me, man. Because we're not gonna be able to step into a certain other channel, and we're not gonna
No,
be able to live
Nigeria
that.
got knocked out.
They got knocked out.
Yeah, they got knocked out by Tunisia.
Oh, Tunisia. That's
Yeah,
Tunisia.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, these are
Tunisia
the
is the
quarterfinals. So the
yes,
quarterfinals are
yes.
Gambia and Cameroon, Egypt, Morocco, Senegal,
I've
Equatorial
completely
Guinea,
forgot about the Tunisia game. I
and
completely forgot
Tunisia,
about Tunisia game.
Burkina Faso.
Yeah,
You
because
know, they
yeah,
got
I completely forgot because
yeah,
I
yeah,
went on to his stream and started clowning him as well. I completely forgot.
yeah.
But no, yeah, sorry, yeah, no. Tunisia. Now Tunisia is a Tunisia. I think. Would you agree the dark horses or
Yeah, Tunisia was my original dark horses because I watched Tunisia and what was it, the Arab Cup. They impressed me. Um, but the Tunisian that I've seen in the AFCON have not impressed me. I don't know how that. I mean, the same thing with Algeria. Algeria was phenomenal in the Arab Cup. They actually beat Algeria actually beat Tunisia in the final on extra time. I think it was who scored. It was Salamani. Salamani scored the winning goal.
yeah?
I believe, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, Tunisia. I mean, my Tunisia was always my dark horses, but I mean, that's the team I was rooting for because of Hannibal Maghrib. Actually, the the young, was it easy 18 19 10, 18 19 year old Man United player. But unfortunately, he hasn't played a lot. I believe he played in the beginning of the tournament. He played the first game, that controversial game, and he got subbed off in halftime and hasn't.
Yeah.
I don't think he has played ever since. So, um, but I, you know, Egypt, man, Egypt, Egypt. I don't know how. I don't know why. I don't know how they do it. Because I don't think Egypt has been at that. I don't think Egypt has been good at all. I think, but somehow, some way, Egypt's in the quarterfinal, and and it just seems like they're just picking up pace, and they're clicking at the right time. And this is a very, very, very defensive Egypt, and they're defense first, and so it's a lot different than the Egypt that in the previous tournaments. Like, but yeah, I think Egypt, man, I think Egypt might actually win it all.
See,
Yeah.
if Egypt do win it and Salah does play his role, I think we're gonna have to have a conversation about who the greatest African player of all time is.
But then here's the thing though, like Salah has been, the thing about Salah is like Salah has been, I don't want, I'm gonna say decent, because he hasn't been great. He
No, no,
hasn't,
decent is the right word. No, no,
yeah,
no, he hasn't
he's,
been great, but he has to turn up in this knockout phase.
but then it's like, you look like, I mean, I don't know if you watched the Ivory Coast game, but there's times where like Salah will like set up his teammates and they will miss, like the amount of chance that this is like Egypt missed. It was actually very frustrating. There was one through ball he gave, absolutely wonderful ball, and then the guy completely missed the goal, and he's like, um, no, I mean Salah is, the thing about Salah is like he's not a striker, and he's literally like, that's what he does. He's like a creative scoring machine, forward slash winger. I don't know, like in football, it's just very difficult to pinpoint people's positions because they just play completely different than what we used to. I mean, we have like inside forwards now, and we don't even have wingers anymore. But then that's what Salah is, though. Salah is like he's very, people don't I feel like people underrate his creativity aspect to his game. He's a very good creative player as well. And but the thing is, like, a lot of the things that Salah has created for his team, you want Salah to be the end of.
Yeah,
So all the chances he creates for his team, you want Salah to be the end of it, because a lot of his teammates, they're not good finishers, man. They. I think Egypt has scored, what was it, 2 goals, two, I believe, 2 goals in
yeah,
the entire tournament,
yeah.
which is crazy, and they're in the quarterfinals. Um,
But at the start of the tournament, the only other player I could from Egypt that I knew was El Mohammedi.
and El Nini, Mohamed El Nini.
those two Arsenal rejects. That's the only two I knew.
Yeah,
Like this team, bro. I mean, bro, you could put Messi in this team. You could put prime Messi in this team, and they'll struggle.
yeah.
They'll struggle
No, it
because
is.
there's
Yeah,
no one to link play. There's no one. This is not Liverpool, man. No, this leaps and bounds between these lot and Liverpool. Because compared to Liverpool, these are fruit sellers.
I
And
will say this. I will say this. I believe the team that comes out from the Egypt and Morocco game. I think though is either between Egypt and Morocco. Who I believe is going to win the tournament, but Morocco has been absolutely phenomenal. They have been really good. Ashraf Hakimi, man, what a player! What a player! Unbelievable free kick. This I think he scored two free kicks in a row now.
yeah, yeah,
It's crazy, man. It's what a player, man. What a player. Um,
still young, bro. Imagine that guy when he's like more mature, and he
absolutely.
with age he gains the experience and he learns all this trade brand. That's a scary player right there, bro. That's a scary player going forward.
So let's quickly go through the quarterfinals and pick your winner. Um,
Yeah.
and then we can then do the semis and then final, etc. So I guess I'm really confused. So is like whoever, so basically whoever was from Cameroon and Gambia will play Egypt and Morocco. Am I correct? I
I
think
believe so. And then it's uh Senegal. Uh,
Equatorial Guinea and whoever they play Equatorial Guinea and whoever wins plays Tunisia and Burkina Faso. So yeah, let's just
Burkina
go with
Faso.
the
Yeah,
first. So first one, Gambia, Cameroon, Cameroon with um, was it home tax, home soil
home
tax?
tax. Home. Not yeah. They're through, bro. They're through.
Yeah,
They're through.
Cameroon, yeah. And then Burkina Faso and Tunisia.
Um. Yeah, uh.
Who did Burkina Faso actually beat?
Yeah. That's literally what I was trying to get up. Oh, Gabon.
Okay,
Yeah. So a Aubameyang less Gabon.
Gabon.
Um.
Ah,
Yeah. I think I don't know. I think Tunisia will get through that.
okay, and then Egypt and Morocco, big one.
Morocco.
Morocco, okay, and Senegal and Equatorial Guinea.
Yeah, I think Senegal. Senegal will get that job done.
Senegal might not. By the way, Senegal might not
Mine, yeah,
be
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
Mane.
true, actually.
So
Yeah, yeah. But I
um,
think they still have enough.
okay. So then that means we have a matchup of Cameroon and Morocco and Tunisia and Senegal. So let's go with Cameroon and Morocco. Who do you think is gonna win?
There's a part of me that wants to say Cameroon will go all the way to the final as well,
Yeah.
to be honest. But man, for
What?
football, I'm pro football and not corruption. So I'll go with Morocco.
And then Senegal and Tunisia.
Um, Now that one really does depend on whether money plays or not. I still no, no. Let's go with Tunisia. We'll go with Tunisia
So we have Morocco and Tunisia in the final.
in the
And
final.
who do you think is gonna win?
Morocco, my boy.
Morocco. Okay. So okay. So yeah. For me, Gambia and Cameroon. I picked Cameroon.
Yep.
Um, Burkina Faso and Tunisia. Tunisia, Egypt and Morocco. Egypt. I don't know why I see Egypt, man. I don't know why. I mean, Egypt. I would just go with Egypt. Senegal, Equatorial Guinea, Senegal. Then I think Tunisia loses to Senegal in the semis, and I think Egypt beats Cameroon, and we have an Egypt and Senegal final. And I think Liverpool Twitter will go crazy. So you have
Oh
Mohamed
man.
Salah and
Oh man.
Sadio Mane
Uh,
in the final.
can't wait for that, bro. Can't wait for that.
And I think it was gonna go to penalties.
No, yeah. See, you can't have this guy take the last penalty, bro.
I think Senegal might do it, man. I don't know why. I
Plot
think
twist.
I think Senegal might do the
Plot
upset.
twist.
I think they might do the upset and
Bro,
beat
that would be a
Egypt.
good day. That would be a good day.
Yeah.
You know how Drogba's got Zambia. Now Salah can hold Senegal.
Yeah, I think that's how it works out. Um, I mean, and I think that will make it a more entertaining um
Yeah,
end to the
yeah.
tournament. To be honest, I mean, my dark horses were Tunisia, but I'm just not have been impressed with Tunisia. Cameroon, I think Cameroon. I mean, I think they did well to just to get to the quarterfinals, home so attacks, and I just don't think they're going to go to the final. And for whatever the reason, I think Morocco is gonna. I don't know. I just have a feeling that they might just bottle it to Egypt, man. I think they're just. I feel like they've just been playing way too well,
Yeah.
and I feel like the Egypt's going to be very defensive. They're not going to let anything in, and I I don't. I think Morocco is going to be they're going to frustrate Morocco, and I think that Egypt's experience is going to shine through, and in the final, Egypt and Senegal, I think is a coin flip, to be honest, and I think this goes to penalties, and so yeah, that is my prediction, and yeah, man, look forward to it. So yeah, thank you for coming on, YSK man. Just wanted to do, there's a lot to talk about in football, so
It was a pleasure.
we,
It's a pleasure.
so yeah, we can talk for hours and hours, and hopefully I have you come on sometime soon, man.
Yeah, for sure. Enjoy this. Hope to see you in the next join whenever that may be.
Absolutely, absolutely, bro. Take care, man.
Take care, man. Take care.
So yeah, guys. Like again, welcome to my channel, guys. So we're gonna be talking, like I said, we're gonna be talking a lot of football, man. Uh, a lot of football, La Liga, Bundesliga, Serie A, Eredivisie, World Cup, Euros, AFCON, etc., everything, guys. And I'm gonna hopefully have a lot of different guests coming on, a lot of guests. In terms of like different aspects of like Serie A, the people that are Serie A fans, Milan fans, Inter fans, etc., and yeah, and that's where we're gonna go, and that's what this channel is gonna do. So yeah, then like always, like, comment, and subscribe, and yeah, look, looking forward to doing more videos, guys. And yeah, this is my very first video, and welcome to the channel, whoever is subscribed and whoever is new. Welcome, guys, welcome. All right, guys, have a good one. Peace, and everyone stay safe. All right, bye bye.